but even totally... Trudy, will you marry me?
Oh, Norval, this is so sad.
Oh, Trudy! Oh!
It's Christmas in wartime. Maybe there's not a whole lot to laugh about. But an earlier war, a much, much bigger one, produced some of the most ridiculous and delightful comedies of all time. One of them in particular stands out for me. It's The Miracle of Morgan's Creek, directed and written by Preston Sturges. Miracle of Morgan's Creek is the story of two small-town lovebirds, sort of. There's Trudy Cockenlocker, played by Betty Hutton, she's the local constable's daughter, and Norval Jones, played by Eddie Bracken, a fixture in Sturges' universe, who is probably the least sexually threatening romantic leading man ever put on film.
My eyes, and they say I got high blood pressure again, and all the time I'm as cool as ice. Don't get so excited, no. I was excited.
One night, Norval takes Trudy out to the pictures, but he's really just giving her cover so she can go to a farewell party for a bunch of soldiers, sailors, and Marines who are being shipped off overseas.
I got a wonderful idea. What? Let's all get married.
She's doing it for the boys. What is she doing? Well, we'll get to that. But it certainly is a night to remember. Even though, because of a bump on the head and some convenient amnesia, she doesn't remember a thing.
We sang, and then we danced, and then we had the lemonade, and then it's almost as if somebody slugged me or something. Isn't that funny? The next thing I remember, I was driving down the street, and all of a sudden I said, Norval. Norval must be waiting for me. I bet I'm a couple minutes late.
Now, this film was made at the height of the production code, which means that we don't really hear about what Trudy was doing that night or with whom, but we do know, we are assured that she was married when she was doing it, even if she did forget the guy's name.
Ratsky-Watsky. Private Ratsky-Watsky. Or was it Zitsky-Witsky?
But Norval, who we know for certain is not the father, nonetheless steps up and does the right thing.
What are you doing down there?
Preston Sturges, the comic technician, is at the height of his powers in this movie. The dialogue is a mile a minute, and there are some brilliantly executed, very funny slapstick sight gags. But what's most striking about this movie is there's such warmth and generosity of spirit, so we feel sympathy for these characters, even as we're laughing at just how absurd and ridiculous and clueless they are.
Goodbye, Emmy.
Goodbye,
Goodbye, honey.
What's all the goodbying for? To see a couple of bum features.
Oh, 3 features.
The bride wore purple, the road to Reno, and our husband's necessary.
And then home. No boogie-woogie.
And this is characteristic of the Preston Sturges touch. In The Miracle of Morgan Creek, he takes what could be, what should be maybe, a tawdry, even tragic story of small-town scandal and turns it into a buoyant and graceful comedy.
6 old boys.
Sturges made his best movies between 1940 and 1944, a time of economic crisis and world war. And he evolved something of a formula. The grimmer the reality, the sillier the response. But this response was never mean, trivializing, or nihilistic, the way that so many comedies made these days are. It's a shame that we've misplaced this formula just at a time when we need it most. But maybe someone will rediscover it. That would be a miracle.